Hello, everyone, and welcome to IF's focus session. So great to see so many of you in the room, and also hi to everyone watching on the live stream online. Today, we're going to speak a little bit about how women at IF are shaping the AI use case innovation and how we go from data to decision. And my name is Sofia Magnusson. I work as an AI strategist, and my focus is on establishing our AI Center of Excellence. I've been working at IF for almost 3 years, and I'm super glad to be here today with my colleagues Lou and Victoria.
Yeah, hi everyone. It's great to be here. I'm Victoria. I'm a data engineer in my heart, but currently I am leading a team of awesome data professionals in our office in Riga. Um, um, I have about 8 years ago, I have changed my career path into IT, and I landed in data and analytics world, which keeps me excited to this day. There is quite a lot of talk nowadays about AI, but you can't really do much in AI without data. So today I will take you through the journey on how do we enable distributed teams in our company to use data.
Hi everyone, my name is Luan and it's such a pleasure to be here today. I'm really excited to share with you some of our AI use cases that we've been developing at IF. I work as the team lead for the advanced analytics team, and I also have the product owner hat on for the same team. So it's a interesting combination of roles because it allows me to shape both the team's capabilities and also the solutions that we deliver. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to walk you through some of the work that we've done and hoping to spark some interesting conversations.
Thank you. And I would also like to say that in the end of these sessions, we hopefully have some time over for your questions as well. And if we don't have time in the session, we will also stay here to answer them. But before we dig into the topic itself, I just wanted to present IF as a company, a little brief.
They say history is written by the victors, so I don't mind playing the villain. Got a pretty girl to the throne. 'Cause the memories come.
Because let's face it, customers today want things just to work seamlessly, digitally, and smart. And we see ourselves as the forefront in this transformation within insurance, and we take pride in making a real difference in people's lives every single day. And when speaking about people, at IF, we are proud in saying that people is our primary asset, and then data comes second, which we'll also speak about today. And on this screen, you can see a lot of different events that we have had during the past years. So even if we are distributed across all of these 7 countries, we actually try to see each other from time to time as well, face to face. And in these pictures, I would like to ask my colleagues of what your favorite maybe memory is. So, Victoria.
Yeah, for me, it's definitely a summer campus, which we have in Riga every year, usually in August. It's a 3 to 4 day event when we actually everyone moves out to a campus outside the city. We do co-working together. There are some outdoor activities. Hackathon is usually held during that event, and but I think the most important thing is that it's a lot of fun to do stuff together.
Great to hear. And what's your favorite memory on some of the gatherings we have had?
Yeah, we recently had a data and analytics tribe gathering just outside of Stockholm. And even though we meet and collaborate on a daily basis on Teams, there's like still something really special about having everyone under the same roof once in a while from the different offices. I think it's all about making those connections and having a good time together.
Yeah, totally agree about that. But to dig into the topic of today and move a little bit towards AI. So I mentioned briefly that I am currently working with establishing our AI Center of Excellence. But AI isn't really new at If. We have been doing a lot of things around AI and data-driven solutions since the early 2000s. Then, of course, around 2010 and so forth, we did a lot of experimenting in different use cases. This turned into several MVPs from 2020 and forwards, which then translated into a lot of things in productions, which we are very happy about. But we have been working with AI and similar solutions for quite some time. But of course, it was with generative AI that really sparked a lot of interest, moving maybe the AI question or interest from merely data scientists to everyone in the company. And due to that, we also started working a lot with the central enablers to actually facilitate this move. So, for example, we put up an AI strategy. We are creating different AI ethics and regulations forums and really trying to bring AI to every person at If. And when we did this shift, seeing like, okay, there's a lot more people interested in AI and a lot of more people that would need to access AI, how can we ensure that we are formalizing all of the already ongoing activities and accelerate this journey? And that was the reason why we created the AI Center of Excellence, to be this unified point of contact for everything related to AI. So we want to be the single point of contact within the organization to make it easy for everyone to know where to turn to. And we also want to democratize AI at If, meaning making it accessible, ensuring that everyone gets information and trainings and so forth. And by doing this, we really believe in having the tools to accelerate the AI journey, bringing together people, ideas, strategy, and execution. And what are we doing within AI then, actually? So we have a really ambitious AI strategy at If. In short, we have two sets of guiding principles. One set is strategic, the other one is regarding responsible use of AI. And this is something available on our intranet and that we are now launching so everyone within If will know what it's about. We'd also have a lot of focus and have been working on strengthening our central enablers, as I just mentioned. Currently, we have pointed out things as, of course, data management, but also around strategic competence development, ethics and regulations, communication, and knowledge sharing. And in addition to that, we have had a focus on value-adding use cases. You can see some of them on the right-hand side here today. So, for example, around fraud detection, content creation, and so forth. And today, Lou will talk about the crash detection, classification, and the customer feedback analysis. So that is what we can share with you here publicly. But in order to also facilitate this, we need to have some sort of governance. So AI Center of Excellence being the central point, we also have an AI acceleration board with representatives across the organization from different business units that are steering us. And then we have an AI ethics and regulation forum that help us with both understanding things as the EU AI Act, but also to bounce ideas and ensure that we are working with AI in an ethical and good way. And of course, as mentioned, we spoke a lot about how can we share knowledge and information across the organization. And down you can see several different initiatives that we have been doing. So we have had AI days with both internal and external speakers. On the intranet, we have a lot of guiding principles and information in various kind of like levels, such as an AI systems instructions, which helps interpret how the EU AI Act kind of like impacts us at If. We also have an AI inventory, where we have all our systems with AI components and the use cases, and also guidelines and other principles. Then we have quite an active AI Teams community challenge where people can just ask each other questions or share memes or whatever. And we try to help each other to answer it in the best possible way. And we also launched an One If AI Foundations course just in the beginning of this year that's available for everyone to kind of like brush off and get the basic knowledge about AI in place. And then we have a lot of AI intranet articles and AI podcasts, which is a really, really nice thing, I think. We are arranging hackathons and having use case workshops. So as you can see, there are a lot of things going on that needs to be connected in some way and to ensure that we're moving to the same direction together. But okay, there's a lot of things going on, but how do we create value from this? Well, we think that everything starts with awareness. So in this is what we refer to as our AI innovation funnel. You can also call it kind of like a use case pipeline. And by starting with awareness, it's so important for people to know what is AI and what is the AI capabilities to ensure that we actually find really good ideas across the entire organization. And when we have a really good idea, or just an idea basically, we want to capture it as well. And that is when the discovery phase comes in, where we're trying to kind of like bring the thoughts a little bit more into a structure. And after that, we are looking into the ideas and seeing like, okay, is this something we can refine? What is missing? Do we have the sufficient data for it? And so forth. Here we have a little bit of a checkpoint. So I would say like the first step is quite iterative. And as you can see, we in the AI Center of Excellence is helping along the way. But at the checkpoint, we kind of ensure that we have enough information to take it further to our more technical teams, such as Lou's team in advanced analytics. And when we have something that we think that we can mature enough and in order to create a solution for, we take it further. Then we evaluate a little bit deeper into the potential costs and the resources needed in order to implement it. And also ensure what AI solution is needed. Is it something off the shelf? Is it something custom built? And so forth. After that, we have a lot of good ideas in our pipeline, so sometimes we need to prioritize. But otherwise, we're moving into the proof of concept state, then moving it into an MVP if that is successful. And of course, we want to follow up and monitor and then scale it. So that is something that we are working with in order to kind of like ensure everyone that just has an idea gets the right help and how we can mature it into production. And as you could also hear when speaking about the innovation funnel, data is a really critical asset. And someone that can speak a lot more about data is Viktorija, so I'm handing over to you.
Yeah, thank you very much, Sofia. So yeah, let's jump right onto it. So in IF, data is considered as the second most important asset after people. So we rely on it daily for our large and small business decisions, be it pricing calculation, integration with partners, different, let's say, customer interactions, analytics, and of course supporting AI and machine learning use cases. But on the other hand, we also have quite many data producing systems. Most of them are various insurance systems, like to help manage policies and claims. But other systems like e-commerce, customer service, and marketing also add to the data volumes and complexity. But of course, for data to become an insight or a business decision, it has to go through a certain journey with the various teams behind these journeys, and it needs time, effort, and a certain skill. So the volumes of data grow, the demand for a quicker data to decision conversion also grows. So in taking into consideration all this, we've asked ourselves, so how do we actually make sure that we have high data availability and quality, and how do we give our data professionals quick and easy access to the data to actually add value? We couldn't really do it all centrally, but inspired by Jean-Marc Degani's work, we embarked on a journey to domain-oriented, decentralized management of data and architecture to make sure that we actually empower or enable our teams to cater for their data needs. So what does it really mean in practice to enable teams? First of all, providing robust and scalable data platform with a centralized provisioning and also with an ongoing support to the platform users. Secondly, ensuring that we establish shared processes and best practices in data governance, such as metadata management, information model, access control. While ownership becomes distributed, it's crucial to have common guidelines and to be aligned across the organization. And thirdly, it's a distributed node ownership and therefore distributed data ownership. And this is where the real magic actually happens. So each team gets their own set of Databricks and Azure resources which they autonomously govern. And this is where actually the data products are being developed. So let's look at all of these components in a bit more detail. So transition to a modern cloud-based data analytics platform was an essential support in our move to decentralized management of data. We have chosen Databricks on Azure to serve as a key component of our data platform. And it all started in 2019 as a POC for just one team. And then we were gradually adding more analytical teams to the platform who were actually very happy to see that their compute time of their solutions have dropped dramatically compared to SaaS. And then finally in 2023, the platform has become officially a centralized data platform in IF. And when this happened, our technology owner was actually quite happy because we could start finally to bill other business units for the associated cost on the platform. So some key highlights of the platform are included in these blue bubbles. So we currently have around 400 active monthly users who are distributed within 85 teams. Unity Catalog actually serves a key component from Databricks to enable data availability, to provision the environments for teams, and also to control access to our data. As mentioned already, we use detailed resource tagging for cost monitoring and allocation, and to bill others for their cost. And we focus quite a lot on actually supporting the users who are using the platform. So there are various upskilling courses that we have. There is a dedicated coaching and support channel where users can post their questions and get help from the platform team. And also, we do try to grow a super user community. So super user is someone who is on the platform already for some time and has a good knowledge of how everything works, so that they can spread it to the closer teams in their business units. Here on this diagram, you can see a holistic overview of all the components and technologies that we use in our data platform, except Databricks. It's great to see how using a unified platform, many different data professionals in the company can actually collaborate and contribute to each other's success. So for example, different data engineering teams ingest data into the platform, transform it, and make it available for analysts and data scientists to use for their solution. So later, Lou will share with you how her team is using the platform for AI solutions. Well, perhaps the most challenging part of moving to domain-oriented decentralized management of data is distributed data ownership. With increasing data volumes and demands to faster data to insights conversion, we realized that the classic idea of centralized data warehousing wasn't really serving us anymore. It led to a longer time to market, conflicting priorities, and also it was difficult to maintain the system knowledge centrally within one team. So we basically realized that now everyone needs to take a greater responsibility for data and analytics in the company. I mean, the journey is not easy, I must admit that, but over the past years, we've seen a significant increase in the number of teams, both data producing and data consuming, who are now joined the platform and are taking more responsibility and ownership of their data products. Data governance, of course, is a much wider topic than just 2 bullets that I have here, but something that I want to mention today of our practices is documentation and also access control. We request that all shareable data products are documented in Elation, which is our company-wide data catalog. It helps us to discover data quicker and easier, and it also provides great insights for querying the data and combining it with other products, and as well to understanding who the data owner is and how to request access to it. Speaking about access, so to ensure that our data professionals have easy but secure and compliant access to data, we use a so-called purpose-based access. So we introduced data use cases and access models for this. So if a team wants an access to data, they need to create and register data use case when they describe who they are, which data they want access to, and how do they plan to process it. And this all should, of course, include privacy documents for regulatory reasons. So then when this use case is created, they basically go to the data owner and say, hey, hello, I want access to your data. The data owner, on the other hand, can use access bundle, which is a logical grouping of the data assets that they own to easily provide this access to a use case owner. Yeah, and then to summarize our enabling journey, I would like to use this mountain climbing analogy that one of my colleagues have come up with. I find it quite fascinating. So there are a lot of data users distributed across the company. And of course, there is this centralized capability with the mission to enable data and AI usage at if. And then basically, we try to make sure that users know that we have their back and that we can even do some hand-holding if needed to support them with data, with processes and platforms. So yeah, so that was a little bit a glimpse into our journey to enable distributed data teams across the company. But now I give a word to Lou to talk about the AI use cases.
Thank you, Viktorija. So, as Sofia mentioned earlier, IF has been working with AI in various ways for quite a long time. And our focus is to build AI solutions that really brings value to our customers. And to make that happen, our advanced analytics team works with the full AI development lifecycle. We take new ideas through to exploratory phases and MVPs and all the way to production and then upscaling. We work with a range of different AI models, and the models we work with have also evolved a lot over the years, and we know that they will continue to do so. So we ensure to build in a way that is easily adaptable for using the best available models. But as most data scientists know, training the models is only part of our job. In reality, so many times you have a really good use case and your stakeholders are really keen, your team is so excited to train some super cool machine learning models, and then you ask the question, so where's the data? And that's when things can really slow down. data access can be such a bottleneck. And that is why our data scientists really benefit from the common data and machine learning platform that Viktorija presented earlier. It means that instead of spending ages just getting our hands on the data, we can instead access the data we need through a clear process and on the same platform where we also develop and deploy our models. It makes our lives so much easier. And it means that we can instead focus on what we data scientists are good at, which is developing the models and bring value. But of course, no AI solution will actually bring any value unless it's being used. So that is why we don't get stuck in endless POCs. We prioritize getting the solutions into production and making sure that they are usable in the real world. And bringing solutions into production isn't just about the platform or the technical implementation. It's also that we need to make sure that we are adhering to the governance frameworks and the regulatory obligations. And fortunately, we don't have to navigate this alone. We have teams of experts that support us and guide us through the process. And finally, how do we make sure that we focus on the use cases that are impactful? Well, our data scientists work very closely with our stakeholders and our users, and we also benefit a lot from the support from Sofia and the team at the Center of Excellence. They help us capture the bigger picture, identifying where AI can bring the most value across the company. And this sort of alignment helps us prioritize the right efforts and delivering solutions that really will make a difference for our business and for our customers. And this is the gang behind the scenes. We are 7 data scientists spread across 4 different offices. So you can see on the picture that when we get to meet each other in person, we get very happy, very excited. If is a large company, and we are a centralized team. So we create AI products that serve a lot of different business areas. We've worked a lot with text data and NLP models. We've also built machine learning models on tabular data and have had a couple of image analysis projects as well. It is a broad scope, and I think the variety keeps the work interesting. Our data scientists get to try on different machine learning domains and learn from each other, and also bring ideas from one project into another. And at the same time, being a centralized team means that we're not just building solutions, we're building capabilities. And that means that we develop reusable components, we're setting standards and best practices, and we're also collaborating and working together with analysts and data scientists that are working in different business areas, are more specialized in different business areas. And it helps us make our solutions more scalable and ensure that more people across the whole company can benefit from what we build. All right, so what do we actually build? So the first use case I would like to share with you today is one of our NLP solutions. The purpose of this solution is to enable us to be more data-driven in our efforts in improving our customer service. So when a customer has interacted with us through one of our touch points, whether it's they've been on our website, used their account on our website, or they've made a phone call to us, or they've had a claims process, when they have one of these interactions, we ask them for feedback. And they can then provide us a score on how likely they are to recommend If to somebody they know. And this score is, of course, a really important metric to us, but the number alone doesn't tell us why the customer feels the way they do. So then it's quite hard to know what exactly we need to improve to make our customers happy. But luckily, many of our customers also leaves us with a free text feedback comments alongside their score. And it's these open-ended feedback comments that can be a really valuable source of insight. but only if we can interpret them at scale. And that's where our NLP models comes in. So we take all of these feedback comments from all of the touch points that we have and use them as inputs to our NLP models. And the models are trained to help us analyze what are the drivers for customer satisfaction or dissatisfaction, and to help us understand and identify what are the pain points that the customers are experiencing, or what are the things that make them happy, and also sort of the general overall trends of customer satisfaction. And the outputs of the models are made accessible to our stakeholders across the organization, so then they can then filter the analysis by the touch point or the business unit or the country that is relevant to their work area, and then be able to identify potential issues and read the relevant comments for the issues that they found, and based on that, take action on what really matters the most to our customers. And this way, we can make efficient use of the feedback that we get and make data-driven decisions to continuously improve our customer service. In contrast to this more large-scale and quite mature NLP solution, I also wanted to showcase this other use case, which is more exploratory in nature at this stage for our team. And I think a nice example of us getting into an area where we get to learn new skills. This one is about image analysis of photos of car damages. The background to this is that we want to lower repair costs of car damages by helping the original equipment manufacturers, the OEMs. We want to help them optimize the production of replacement parts. And to do this, they need to know which replacement parts they need to produce for future car models. So essentially, they need to be able to predict the demand. But the claims data is, of course, highly sensitive and protected, so we cannot share any details about the damages. Instead, we could explore sharing analysis on a more aggregated level. So if we could instead share a distribution of the location of where the damages has occurred on a high level, then we could still support their efforts in optimizing their production, but without disclosing any individual claims or damage details. So our approach is to train train object detection and image segmentation models to analyze photos of car damages. So we need to first be able to identify where on the photo the damage is, and then we also need to segment the car into predefined standard parts, and then combining those two outputs, we can then locate the damage and essentially be able to say, okay, this fraction of damages occurs on this part of the car. And the benefit of being able to do that is that the OEMs can then predict their demands and optimize their production, which in turn means that the costs will be reduced, and also we can reduce our waste and contribute to our sustainability targets. We, of course, have a lot more use cases that I think are really interesting, but these are the two that we can share with you here today. So with that, I'm going to hand over to you, Sofia.
Thank you, Lou. Yeah, and that was all we had to present today. So just to kind of like summarize what we have been speaking about today. So the AI Center of Excellence coordinates and creates awareness that sparks the innovation. And then we have enabling and supporting teams. That's a key for effective use of data, turning it into business insights. Then, of course, the common data and ML platform remove bottlenecks in AI initiatives and makes scaling easier. And lastly, we have data scientists at IF work on diverse AI projects and supporting many different business areas in making data-driven decisions and reducing costs. So that's all in all what we have been speaking about today. Thank you so much for listening. And we are opening the stage also if you have any questions. So thank you. Do we have any questions, or otherwise I can start asking my colleagues while you're thinking about one? So maybe I can start with you, Lou. So what's the best thing about working as a data scientist at If?
I think there are so many things I could say. Just having the freedom to explore while also be able to contribute to some really impactful projects, and also having the good support on data and platform, and be able to work on a variety of different projects. But I think if I really have to pick one, then it has to be about the people. Because I think it's just such a joy working with the people I have around me. They are so friendly and so open and really supportive, and I think that's ultimately what really makes a difference. So, short answer: the people.
Yeah, great answer. And Victoria, you mentioned that you're enabling teams, but what is your role in enabling teams?
Yeah, I currently represent the data governance capability. So I help teams to understand what is our purpose-based access management framework, and help them register data use cases and access bundles. But I also do a bit of marketing, I would say, around the platform and this distributed data ownership, and helping team to onboard to the platform, basically sometimes even doing this hand-holding.
Yeah, great. And do we have any questions here? Yeah, now I see a lot of hands. Let's see if we can make this work. Yeah, here you go.
Okay. Maybe question for Lou. I'm not sure if you can answer that, but how do you measure performance for the user feedback model? Because it's hard to see if it's anonymous data. Like, how do you see if it's accurate or not?
So we do have some, because people have worked with this before the AI model comes in. So there is a lot of expertise with the teams that look at these feedback data. So they have also helped us identify sort of what are the, like, basically evaluate the tool. And we have some predefined sets of label data that we can evaluate against. Yeah.
Okay.
So we fortunately have support from the business teams that have helped us evaluate.
Okay, so you just have a lot of data to train on that.
Yes, fortunately.
Okay. That's good.
Thank you. Then I saw another question there. Yeah.
Hi. Basically, the question about the data platform. So you told like different teams will be onboarding to a centralized platform, and basically there will be a need to combine different data and like present it. So do you have a layer on top of that, or how you manage it?
So as I mentioned, we go with this distributed data ownership. So every team would own their own piece, and then let's say data producers are bringing data to the platform, and then make it available as a data product to everyone in the company. Then whoever needs to combine the data from different producers or from the aggregated states forward to be like a gold layer, or to combine it for reporting in one of the BI tools, that they can just ask for the access to the data and do it themselves. Of course, there is and there will be some aggregated level of data like in the middle, but then we try to hand over this responsibility to teams themselves.
Thank you.
Sure.
We had a question at the back. Thank you. I think this is for you, Sofia. From the strategy point of view, how do you approach and how do you help connect the AI solution or the data solution? And you mentioned we help the team create value. How do you approach that? Do you have an exercise to connect whichever solution, AI or data, to the value that you are giving to the business?
Yeah, a really good question. So I think just explain, like in the innovation funnel, there are a lot of different areas that needs to work together in order to create impactful value. So for us, it's very important to identify the different ideas from the beginning, and a lot of the ideas come from people that are not that maybe technical or data heavy in that sense. But then we have a lot of different kind of like collaborations and ongoing forums. I think we check in every other week, just explaining like this is some ideas from the different parts of the organization. We share how mature the ideas are, and then we kind of like evaluate what can we do with it, and then try to mature it together. So what we are doing in the AI Center of Excellence is trying to make the ideas as mature as possible before bringing it into the technical people, that so they put their kind of like resources and knowledge into what they are good at and can focus a lot on that. So I hope that kind of like answered the question. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. I got another question when other people were asking. How do you deal with sensitive data if you have one platform for the whole company? I don't think it's possible to share some information even with the whole company.
Sure, yeah. This is why we use the access bundles that I mentioned to you, and of course also the use cases. So the team who wants to access sensitive data, so basically they need to create a use case where they describe the purpose and why do they need to have access to the sensitive data. So there should be like a regulative or legal reasoning for that. But on the other hand, what access bundles help us do, we can create a very narrow access bundle, even to a level of a column or a row in a table, where we give access to a very specific set of data if it's a sensitive data, and then only this small narrow group of people will get access to it.
Okay, thank you.
Sure.
And maybe one more question.
Yeah. Sure.
Yeah, so you said first you make sure that ideas mature before like starting implementing them. So does it mean that like data scientists are not involved until the last stage? Then how do you know that idea is actually feasible, that it's possible to implement, for example?
Yeah, so we're trying to mature it in different steps, but since an idea can be quite like on a high level, it's in the first step trying to kind of like capture it and get it into written and see, okay, is AI even the right solution? Because we don't want to do AI just because it's cool. We just want to do it where we find value. So we're trying to see, okay, what is the idea and what is the business impact, and how will this be helpful? And when we are at some point where we see, okay, but this is mature enough, we have data assets available and so forth, then we include the more technical contacts. So they are, we're having a lot of dialogues all the time, but we're trying to ensure that we have collected the information that we can as much as possible from, for example, the business side before going to them, so that they don't also get maybe disturbed at a too early stage. So yeah.
Maybe it's also worth adding that we do also have technical expertise within the Center of Excellence. So like it helps assessing the sort of feasibility and whether it's the right solution already at a fairly early stage.
So if it's something that requires OpenAI data center like completely, maybe it's not the best idea to implement. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much. And I see time is running out, and we have a really tight schedule for the afternoon as well, I think. But thank you so much, everyone, for coming, and everyone from listening in.
Thank you.